are the headlines?
Alright, welcome. If you're new to the channel, my name's Elliott and you're watching Rickety Ski Reviews. Today, we're gonna talk about who makes the best skis. Now, this is a really hard question to answer, and I don't think there's ever gonna be a satisfying answer. The real answer is, whatever ski feels good to you is the best ski. Right, it's like asking, who makes the best ski boot? Well, what fits your foot? I'm gonna attempt to call out some of the brands that I think are doing the best job out there or who are making some of the best skis in different fields, and we'll kind of go from there. And all of different categories. We're gonna have the best carving ski, the best powder ski, the most ethically made ski, and the best ski shape, like who's making some of the best shape skis. But just in general, so you gotta take this with a giant grain of salt. Who do I think is out there making really nice skis right now, and who do I think is kind of going above and beyond the rest of the brands? So first off, for carving skis, I honestly think that Stockli is making some of the best skis out there right now for carving. Now, a lot of it depends on your ability, a lot of it depends on your skill. If you are kind of new to carving and you classify yourself as like beginner to intermediate, I wouldn't just run out and buy the first pair of Stocklis you see, because a lot of the kind of nuance might be lost on you that early on in your ski journey, so to speak. But if you're like a former racer and you like a smooth carved turn, not just like smooth in that it's damp, but smooth like on edge all the way through the turn, I don't think there's anyone doing that better than Stockli. Now, it helps that they cost twice what a lot of other skis cost, right? But they're handmade. They have a specific way of layering the skis. Essentially, the way I understand it is they like sprinkle rubber dust. But all that aside, the ski shape, the ski build, the camber profile, the way that they hook up and turn and how smooth it is once you get it on edge is unbelievable. I don't think there's any other ski doing it quite like them. Now, if the snow is like soft and choppy, I probably reach for the Volkl M7 Mantra over the Stockli Storm Rider or the Stockli Montero AR. I think those skis just handle bad weather or soft snow better. But if you have like perfect corduroy or any like even like firm snow, I really do think the skiing on a Stockli Montero AR current generation, they just changed it for the 2025 season, is unlike any other ski I've carved on. It's the closest thing you can get to feeling what like a World Cup race ski might feel like if you had that ability, without being nearly as punishing if you don't get the timing right, or without being nearly as punishing on your body because it's just that smooth. The big analogy I use with Stockli a lot is it's like going from driving a good Toyota car to driving a Lexus. You get that same reliability in performance, but you just get that much more smoothness. So it's not a perfect brand. Like the Stockli Storm Rider 95, I go, okay, this is really smooth, but if I was like going in and I got some fresh powder, there's limitations, right? So like no ski is doing all of this stuff perfectly, but my God, specifically the Stockli Montero AR, when it comes to carving, is doing so much right. So anyway, at least for me right now, in the year of our Lord, 2026, I think Stockli is out there making the best carving skis right now that you could put on your feet. Not without their drawbacks, but a very, very good ski. I know it's a different format, different setting, but I like making these videos. All right, next up we have who makes the best powder ski. Now this, again, is totally dependent on your style, what you like out of a ski, budget, all of that included. And I think that there is a good argument for a lot of different brands. But right now, as far as deep powder, like a dedicated big powder ski, who do I think is making the best powder ski? Honestly, I think DPS is making the best powder ski out there. You could argue that the Atomic Bent, the Salomon QST, whatever, that those are also very, very good powder skis. And they cost about half of what a DPS ski costs. But DPS 1 is the most comfortable on my knees and hips out of any other powder ski out there. It made me realize that the compromises I was making for the Salomon QST Atomic Bent, I didn't really need to be. So in my opinion, right now, the best powder ski that I've ever skied on, or that you could go out and buy, is the DPS Kaizen 112. I'd love to try more. They have like a Carbon Lotus I really want to try that's like a 120. But I have never had a ski that was that wide and felt that good on my knees, that really like allows you, because of that kind of rocker profile, allows you to make quick, easy turns while you're in the trees. That's forgiving when you make those turns. That's so soft that every kind of texture of fresh powder you feel on your feet. I really do think DPS makes the best powder skis out there. Now, they cost an arm and a leg. They're very expensive, but if you are somebody who has knee injuries, hip injuries, back problems, I think that if you weigh against it, like the cost of a physical therapist or anything like that, or is something that keeps you skiing more years into your future, I think it's absolutely worth it. It's kind of got this stereotype of being like the old man or dentist ski. And one of the stereotypes is that you typically see older men on these DPS skis. I think secretly that's kind of a sleeper endorsement of the ski. For instance, right now, I'm learning how to surf, okay? I go every day, I go surf, I go for like 2 or 3 hours, and especially in the morning, there's a lot of older men who go before work. Those guys have really good advice, and when I see a sport like that, I go, okay, these guys are able to do it. It's a lifetime sport where it doesn't have a lot of injuries, right? You don't see a lot of like old rock climbers or things like that, things that are really brutal on your body. And one of the guys at the surf wave, I saw he was wearing this earpiece, like these little earplugs, and a lot of guys wear them. And so I asked him, hey, why do you wear the earplugs? Is it because of the decibels of the wave? Like, are you worried about hearing damage or something like that? And he goes, no, you can get like a calcium buildup in your ear and it's really hard and you have to have surgery and it hurts a lot and it's really uncomfortable. So like next day I go out and buy the earplugs because I don't want to have that happen to me. There is a wisdom in what older skiers are skiing on. And when I look at DPS skis, I go, that makes a lot of sense. DPS would have never been on my radar before starting this channel. I just got so many requests after request after request. But the price alone, as just a normal consumer, I never would have tried them. And now that I've tried them, demoed them, put them on my feet, I go, oh, these are so comfortable on my knees and specifically my hips. I've had a lot of issues with the Salomon QST Blank, with some of the, the bigger Black Crowes Anomaly skis, where after a while, they hurt my hips and they hurt my knees. And this DPS Kaizen 112 at that width did not bother my knees or my hips at all. And so what I think you're getting from DPS is twofold in value. One, you're getting that soft carbon that really allows you to feel all of the snow underneath your feet, especially on a big powder day. But two, you are getting an ergonomical, comfortable ski. And I think that has a ton of value in and of itself. So I like the DPS skis a lot. I think if you get a chance on a powder day, try them. I know that you're going, okay, there's no way I'm gonna spend that much money on skis. Just try them once. And if you don't like them, you don't like them. But I was so floored by the performance, the comfort, the maneuverability, the lines I was able to set up, that it really is in a league of its own. They're also made in America. It really seems like they have an interest in developing interesting skis with the carbon pieceworks, which is not a perfect ski, but it's something. It's a short radius, fun, exciting carving ski. So for me, in the powder field, I don't think the pieceworks is the best carving ski. I think it's good, it's fun, it's exciting, but where DPS has really mastered things is their powder skis, and I think currently, in the year of our Lord, 2025, going into 2026 season, DPS is making the best powder skis that you can buy right now. Next, let's talk sustainability. Let's talk ethics. Let's talk about what is good for the ski community long-term, big picture. I think that Meyer Skis is doing the best job right now of making ethically made skis, right? They're not made with unethical labor. They're made in an environmentally friendly way, local and sustainable wood, like stuff that is, I think on their website they call it beetle kill pine. Essentially, they're not harvesting wood that isn't ready to be harvested. They also don't change their top sheet graphic every year just as a way of urging people to buy new skis. They also do handmade custom designs so that you'll keep your ski for a long time. You're not just chasing the next flashy graphic. They also have very unique designs on their skis. I feel like they're always kind of reaching for something new. They're not trying to sell you an all-in-one ski. Instead, they kind of go after these different niche skis and come out with some really cool designs. Are all of their skis my favorite ski ever? No, but their price, I think if you look at their business model, they are handmade, they're reasonably priced, they're a direct-to-consumer product that is sustainable. They're not looking to just have your skis end up in a landfill and take your money, and you're not gonna find them on Amazon.com. You can custom make them. I just think that as far as direct-to-consumer business models go, for ski brands, this seems like the model to follow, where they're really just trying to like get you a pair of skis that you're gonna like, that are gonna be exactly what you want the ski to do, and you know, keep you happy with them. So anyway, kind of a weird subcategory, but as far as ethics and what is sustainable long-term for the ski community, for the environment, everything combined, I have to say, I think Meyer is doing it right. All right, next up, I wanna talk about the crud cutter, the wet snow, heavy snow ski. Who is making the best crud cutter out there? And for me, this one is a tie. A lot of it just depends on your ski style. As far as crud cutters go, I would say my favorite personally right now, Volkl makes the best diverse, bad weather, good weather ski out there, and that is the Volkl M7 Mantra, however you want to say it. This ski is unbelievable. It's good on a good day, like you can still carve on it, it feels damp, it feels smooth, but if you get this on a bad wet snow day or a sun-baked snow in the west or a rainy day in the east, this is my favorite ski to just keep on hand and have for any kind of adverse weather. I can't believe how good it feels. I do think if you have better weather, like consistently, or if you don't get heavy wet snow, go with like a Mantra 88 or the Mantra 84 is really fun. Like that thing will totally rocket you downhill. But if you get bad spring skiing weather and you just want something that is gonna consistently perform for you no matter what the conditions are, the Volkl M7 Mantra. I would also say, in the same vein, if you are somebody who likes to ski more on the tails of your skis, Nordica Enforcer 99 also does a really good job of this. My personal preference for my ski style is the M7 Mantra, but there's no denying that the Nordica Enforcer 99 also does a tremendous job with this. So pick your poison. If you like being kind of more on the middle underfoot of your ski versus the tails, I 100% would recommend the Volkl M7 Mantra. But if you're somebody who has a ski style of really ending your turn at the very last second right on your tails, I think you'll probably be a little bit better served on the Nordic Enforcer. Both make good products, both are really good for wet, heavy snow, but my go-to has been the Volkl M7 Mantra. All right, in the next category, who has the best ski shaping? Who is making the best ski shapes or kind of paving the way for different ski designs? And in my honest opinion, that is the team over at Black Crows. Between the Justis, which for my money, if I was going back to Europe, that is the ski I would want to have. It's diverse, I like that square tip. I loved its performance in powder. I loved its performance on the groomed runs, on the firm corduroy. I just think the Justis is like the hidden gem of the ski industry right now. But then going on to one of their newer designs, you look at the Black Crows Octo, that ski is phenomenal. Short radius turns is probably my go-to ski. If you are somebody who wants a ski that has a little bit of give, if you want to have fun without having to go Mach 10 down the hill, I think that's one of my favorite skis. Last year was my ski of the year. If you're somebody who's looking for a short radius and twin tip freestyle ski, they've got the Mirrors Core, which is super popular. They don't do a lot of different materials in their skis. You know, they'll kind of play with some of the stuff with the Draco Freebird, and then they also kind of will have some Titanal in a handful of their makes and models. But the majority of it is just plain like fiberglass top sheets and poplar wood, and they really don't rely on material as a crutch to make the skis feel good. They really just have this hyper focus on the ski's shapes and designs. Even if you just look at a pair from like walking down the street, you can tell these shapes are very distinct. And as far as ski shape goes, I really think the cutting edge or the people who are doing it right is the team over at Black Crows. Now, the skis are not cheap. They aren't quite at like a Stockli or DPS level, and they're not as low as like a Salomon or Atomic or K2. They're kind of right in the middle between those two brands. But as far as value goes, I think they're great. They don't change things unless they really need to. Like the Black Crows Atris hasn't changed in a while, and I don't think it needs to. I just think as far as simplicity and design goes, Black Crows is absolutely killing it and is leading the industry for ski shape specifically. Like I said, you know, there's no such thing as a perfect ski, but I really like some of the skis that they've been putting out recently. And now finally, let's talk value. Now, I think you could argue that any of these skis provide you a high value, and whatever you're paying, you're getting what you want out of the ski. I always feel that way. Value to me, a lot of times is just determined by dollar per day skied on them? Like, did you get a lot of days on those skis? Did they hold up for a lot of seasons? And did you have fun? Like, was it the right tool for that day? So value is always gonna be kind of subjective, but at just shooting from the hip, my opinion of who gives you the most bang for your buck right now for buying skis, and taking into account buying them in like the off season and the sales that I see once a month, I do sale videos, and I have a pretty good idea of like just people you commonly see discounting their skis and having good prices. Like, a really good way of thinking about this is like, what do I tend to spend my own money on? And I think it's close. Like, the Salomon QST 92 has been one of my favorite bang for your buck skis. I think right now, like, just if you're out shopping today, I think the Head Core series that you can get at BACKCOUNTRY right now is probably best bang for your buck for a handful of reasons. But I love the Head Core 93. You can get it for a very reasonable price. They also have Head Core 105. I think right now the best bang for your buck is Head, so you could put that in the honorable mention. But just for like season average, what you're getting for your dollar, I do think that despite not working with them currently, I think that bang for your buck Atomic is giving you some of the best value out there. I got my Atomic Maverick 88 Ti's for about $400 a couple of years ago, and I've spent so much time on them. I got so much mileage. They were so diverse. They carve well, but also did well in light amounts of powder. And then you pair that with like an Atomic Bent 110 or Bent 120. I think those skis are phenomenal powder skis. You're getting a ton of performance for not nearly as much money as some of the other brands for powder skis charge. On top of that, like the Bent 110 can still kind of carve. Also, like, it's not my favorite ski, but the Bent 100 for someone who's timid about powder and wants this all mountain ski that can still perform okay in a lot of conditions, I think there's a lot of value there. The Bent 90 right now you can buy for like, what, $360, under $400. And that's a ski where you're not gonna get great carving turns, but you can massage big open radius turns and have fun. I think that when I look at the Atomic lineup, almost every ski that I've tested, maybe besides the Redster, provides a tremendous value to the skier. You get so much ski for what you pay for. And part of that might just be the Horizon Tech. The Horizon Tech allows them to kind of be a boat hole, so they get more flotation than you would typically see in a ski that width. Some of it may be that Atomic is just such a giant ski brand out there that they're able to kind of bully everyone around with their prices. I look at the Atomic ski boots. When I look at that, like Lang had a couple of years during the big COVID boom where they just refused to discount their boots in the off season, and I moved over to the Atomic Hawks Prime. I love those ski boots. You think about like how good the moldable liner is on those, how good the quality is on the buckles, how good the fit feels for me specifically, the prices that I typically see the Atomic Hawks go for. I think that between the ski boots and the skis and just how much you get for your money right now, bang for your buck, Atomic is making the best value ski on the market. So like I said, a lot of this stuff is very subjective. So what do you think? Who's making the best skis out there right now? And a lot of it might be who's making the best ski for you. I don't think there is some Goldilocks brand that's perfect for everyone. A lot of it depends on your needs, your style, what your priorities are. Whenever people email me asking for suggestions, I go, okay, like write down a list of your priorities and then watch a handful of these reviews. So, you know, don't just go out and buy the most expensive whatever brand I named. Do a little bit of like research, figure out what's gonna suit you the best so you can get the most of your money. I'm not paid by any of these brands. I know I say that to people who watch my videos regularly, but for you watching out there, if you're new to the channel, I don't take money from any of these brands. I'm completely independent. I literally just have affiliate links. I'll have affiliate links down below in this video so you can use that. But you get the same percentage from every single brand, so it really doesn't matter to me. And I just want to talk about, like, right now in the year of 2025, who's doing it right. I'm really critical of brands, and I kind of wanted to do the reverse today of saying, hey, who's getting it right? Who's clearly making a big effort to make a good ski right now? And kind of get a pulse in the year 2025, where do I think the industry's at, and who are kind of the front runners of the industry currently? Again, like I have a racing background, so that affects my bias a little bit. I also live in Idaho, which is in the west coast of the US, which has, you know, both carving and really good powder skiing. So take that into account. Your situation may be different. You may live somewhere where X, Y, and Z ski works perfectly for you. It just depends on what you need. But I think it's valuable to like recognize this stuff, because for you guys out there spending your hard-earned money, I want you to know what I would spend my own money on and where I think a lot of the value and innovation is coming from. So anyway, if you like this kind of independent content and you want to support the channel, we will have affiliate links to all these brands. If you're currently shopping, please consider using that. It's a really great way to support the channel. It doesn't cost you anything extra. We also have channel memberships, so you can get your comments or questions prioritized. We have company Ko-Fi and Venmo links if you want to make a donation. Not that you have to, but it is the most efficient way of doing it. You can like and subscribe, all that jazz. But more than anything, just thanks for being here. Thanks for taking time out of your day to listen to me talk about skis. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. See ya.